If you like my dad's videos, please subscribe to QA Insights channel.
Welcome to Learn JMeter series. In this season 3, episode 6, we are going to see about listeners in JMeter. Most of the listeners perform several roles in addition to listening to the test results. So this is the official definition of listeners. So listening to the test results. So this is the purpose of listeners. The most frequently used ones are view results tree, summary report, aggregate report, backend listener, and simple data writer. The type of extensions we will be working on listeners is .xml or .csv or .jtl. Apart from capturing the statistics from the server or your in-house metrics such as the request data or some manipulation, you can also view the results, or you can save the results, or you can read the results from multiple files. And also you can merge one or more files into one using the listeners. The important point in listener is you should not add more number in your test plan, which will lead to more memory, and it is not a good practice. Basically, I would say do not add any listeners for your load test. Always disable it. Only use listeners for debugging purpose. And if you want to write, use the command line parameters -l and write it to some file. Then you can read the file for your analysis. But if you want to still use the listener, then go for simple data writer, which is one of the memory efficient listener. All the configuration is totally customizable in JMeter. If you go to jmeter.properties in bin folder and search for results file configuration, you will get umpteen file configuration, and just copy the relevant settings to the user.properties and tweak the settings for your analysis or for your logging purpose. So this is one of the best way to make use of your listeners and the configuration. Now let us see a quick demo how we can leverage listeners for debugging purpose or for execution purpose. This is my simple test plan with dummy sampler. You can add the listeners under the third group by right clicking on third group, go to add listener, and you can select the relevant listener. In this case, I'm going with view results tree. We have been using view results tree in many videos. I'm not going through it again, but one of the common properties you will see in the view results tree or almost in any listener is this file name and configure button. So this file name, you can use it to write to a file or you can read it from file. So in this case, I'm going with say run10.jtl. And if you click on configure, you can check or uncheck based on your requirement. If you want to write something, you can check. If you don't want to write something, then you can uncheck. And whenever you run this, all the information, all the statistics will be stored in this file run10.jtl. So now I can clear this. And if you want to read something, again I can click on this browse. Again I can check this run10.jtl, and if you just open this, you can see the output. So basically you can use it for read or write. Now let us add the listener aggregate report. So this one will display the percentile. It will not give you the more insights about a request or response, but it will give you the number. So how much is the response time? What is the error percentage? What is the throughput, etc. So now let us add the same file which we have written. And you can see dummy sampler is 1, average response time 504 milliseconds, and so on. Again, this listener is totally configurable by clicking on this configure button, or you can also save the table data by clicking on this button. Okay, now let us see the backend listener. So this backend listener will be very helpful if you are working with Influx database. If you want to send some data at runtime, you can just select the implementation based on the backend listener and configure the settings. Then if you run it, in the runtime, all the results will be published to the Influx database. But make sure JMeter is able to contact the Influx database, otherwise you will not be able to publish. And another simple one we use is simple data writer. So this also will be very helpful if you want to write something with no fancy options here. Just you have to mention the file name, and you have to mention whether you want to log these errors or successes or both. You have to mention the options here and also the configure. So based on your configuration, it will write or and also you can read from the file. And if you want to merge, you can also merge. So if you want to keep on adding files one by one, it will automatically merge it for you. So this is the purpose of listener. Again, do not add more number of listeners. Again, I'm not saying you should not add at all, but try to avoid it. Disable the listeners. That's what I would say. And pass your -l tag in your CLI mode and just write it to some file. Or you can make use of simple Datawriter or JS or 223 sampler. You can write some custom code. So that's it, guys, from my side. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please join community.qainsights.com to post your question. And thanks for listening. Have a good day.
If you like my dad's videos, please subscribe to QA Insights channel.